brought the children to him after they already knew what he was about.
You're saying that the parents need to have some sort of culpability for bringing their child to a predator.
Something. I mean, did they potentially get parental consent? I
And
mean,
you know for sure which parents knew.
we all kind of knew his get down. I mean, kind of, sort of. I mean, did we?
And did you listen to his music after that?
If it came
Did
on
you
the
go
radio
Did
or
you go to his
Pandora,
concerts?
yeah,
Or so
yeah,
you supported him. So you supported a child sex trafficker, even
no.
though you say that you knew.
Finish him!
Culpability do you take for his ongoing fame? And you yourself knew that you had an idea that he was a predator, and you still listened.
What I mean is, no, you put on Pandora.
Do not let this predator's music come across my phone. Did you contact
Well,
Pandora?
you're
Did you
right.
sit
You're
there
right.
stepping in the name of
And
love?
I
I know it's your birthday tonight. All right. Thank you so much for. He told on himself.
I'm not going to answer that question.
You're
All
on
the
the
others.
air live with Tonya TKO and attorney Gerald Griggs. What is your name?
my name's Michael.
Hi, Michael. What is your most poignant question or comment?
Yes, my thing is, people knew R. Kelly's get down after Aaliyah, and they saw him in the tape with the 14-year-old girl, but people still brought their kids to R. Kelly. I mean, is there any kind of responsibility on that end if they brought the children to him after they already knew what he was about?
Counselor?
I mean, a lot of people work with Mr. Kelly for musical reasons. So, I think that many
I'm
of the
sorry,
families.
caller, I'm sorry. Can you turn down whatever's going on in the background? There's an echo. There's a lot of noise happening. I want you to
Okay,
be able to get your
my
question
apologies.
answered.
My
Yeah.
my
All right.
apologies.
Go
Yeah,
ahead, counselor.
yeah, many of the families thought that R. Kelly could help their children with their musical careers. And of course, some of the families believe that, because he was acquitted in the 2008, 2009 trial, there might not have been any truth to the matter. But I
So
understand
you
your
got
concern. But again, I don't foresee any of the families being charged for anything.
not saying being charged, but did they potentially get parental consent to
You
some
can't
respect if you bringing your
can't
kids to 'em?
consent. You can't consent to child sex trafficking.
Okay, well, that's true.
So you
That's all
feel
I
that
had.
so you
Go ahead.
feel
Go
you
ahead.
you feel you feel that the parents need to be held responsible for what Mr. Kelly did because help us understand your reason for bringing this up.
Well, I think that what R. Kelly did was wrong. That was reprehensible what he did. But I also believe that the pendulum swings in both directions, not just in one direction. And I think that everyone who has been a part of it should be, I don't know, held at their feet, held to the flame to some extent.
Okay, so this is what you're saying, right? People, R. Kelly had a trial that he was acquitted of, and people may have had an idea that he'd hurt children in the past, and they brought their child to him for to help them with their music career. You're saying that the parents need to have some sort of culpability for bringing their child to a predator.
Something. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what, because it's pretty sketchy to talk about. It's kind of hard for a man to talk about without, being looked down on a certain type of way. But I think that something has to be said about that
Well,
because I
let me ask
mean,
you this
they,
question because listen, negligence is a thing that is true. Negligence is a thing, but who had explicit knowledge that R. Kelly was a predator then? Who knew? Who wasn't in his inner circle? Who could confirm that because he was acquitted? He'd never. There was even to this day. The information about him marrying Aaliyah just came out. When that thing came out with him peeing on the girl, people said that was not him in the tape. So how can we be sure that there is somebody that absolutely knew that R. Kelly was a predator then? Remember, 2001, the internet was really just forming. How did anyone really know?
I think if you talk in terms of the legality of what goes on in the court, that's one thing. But you're talking about in the black universe of around black people, we hear certain things, we know certain things about what everybody is doing. And it's
Okay.
unfortunate, but I think people low key knew that he was married to Aaliyah. That's always been out in the streets. That's always been out. Everything that's been happening before the girls got to him, everybody knew what was popping prior to this next batch of girls getting to R. Kelly.
Okay, so you're saying
I
that
mean,
you know for sure which parents knew, or you're
no,
saying if there was a parent.
I
Okay.
can't say that confidently. I can't say it confidently. I can't say that confidently. But I
Okay.
mean, we all kind of knew his get down. I mean, kind of, sort of. I mean, did we?
And did you listen to his music after that?
If it came
Did
on
you
the
go
radio
did
or
you go to his
Pandora,
concerts or
yeah, on
anything like that?
Pandora,
So
yeah.
you supported him. So you supported a child sex trafficker, even
No,
though you say that you knew.
no, I
You
don't support a
listen, you
child sex
listen,
check.
you listen
I
to
don't,
you listen to the music. This is what you're saying. You played it on Pandora so that he could get royalties from your play, and you yourself knew that you had an idea that he was a predator, and you still listened.
what I mean is, no, you put on Pandora, you put up random music come across Pandora. Randomly, music did come across
Did you
Pandora, but no, I never
contact
sought
Pandora
out
and
to
say, listen, do
personally.
not let this predator's music come across my phone? Did you contact
Well,
Pandora or
you're
did you
right.
sit
You're right.
there stepping in the name of
And
love?
no, I didn't contact Pandora.
Okay,
I
but
didn't
you
contact
sat there
Pandora.
stepping in the
I
name of
can't.
love, talking about, I know it's your birthday tonight. All right, thank you so much for calling in. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. All right, so the phone lines are open. Listen, I don't know what's going on. He told on himself. He told on himself. He told on himself. For all of you out there who were still going to R. Kelly concerts and you had an idea that he was a predator, what culpability do you take for his ongoing fame? Well, the people who sat up and made music with him. Remember, the Isley brothers. What's this guy's name? The big one with the fur and the scepter, whatever his name is. What's his name?
I have no recollection. I'm not going to answer that question.
There were people making music with him. Remember, Jay-Z had a 2-side album where one side was Jay-Z, one side was Kelly. You remember this, right? I remember
I
because I was like,
remember.
what is going
I
on? We
remember
were
the
in some
best of
sort of...
both worlds. I remember.
Okay, so that's what it was called, right? We had Mr. Biggs, that was his name. He had a whole trilogy of In the Closet, and then Mr. Biggs came in, and it was his woman that he was with, and it was a whole hoopla. All of this. So there were people who were still working with him. So when we start saying that people knew for sure, everyone was acting normal. There's this psychological term that talks about when other human beings are acting normally around a crisis, that other people continue to act quote unquote normal as well. Watch the full video on YouTube or Facebook at Tonya TKO, link in the description. It's at Tonya TKO on YouTube and at Tonya TKO Show on Facebook.